You're on a wild goose chase, friend, a completely misguided quest for life's meaning. The craziest part? You don't even realize it. This whole, find a lucrative career, secure stability, follow market trends, mantra. It's been drilled into you since kindergarten, whispered in family dinners, etched into your earliest memories. But let's ask a question you've probably never considered. How many people you know followed that script and are truly, deeply happy? Think about it. Remember that feeling of waking up on a Monday, genuinely excited for the day ahead? How many people you know experience that? The harsh truth is, most people wake up exhausted before their alarm even goes off, dragging themselves to jobs that barely cover the bills. And the scariest part? They think it's normal. That happiness is a weekend getaway, a fleeting vacation, a distant dream. The truth is, you've been misled, not maliciously, but through ignorance. The people who gave you that advice were lost, too, blindly following a worn-out roadmap, perpetuating a generational cycle of quiet desperation. So here's the potentially uncomfortable, life-altering truth, the biggest obstacle to finding your purpose. That frantic, desperate search for instant gratification. People crave a quick fix, a viral video, pithy Instagram quote, a pre-packaged purpose, delivered on a silver platter. When they don't find it, they crumble, feeling like failures, convinced they're just not meant to have a purpose, that it's all just self-help fluff. I've heard it countless times. But discovering your purpose isn't a lightning bolt, a mystical epiphany during a Netflix binge. It's a journey, a slow burn, demanding introspection, reflection, and most importantly, time. People are terrified of stillness, of facing themselves, so they fill their days with meaningless tasks, avoiding the emptiness that stares back when they are alone with their thoughts. And the saddest part? Most people pick a purpose that isn't theirs, one that looks good on paper, sounds secure, or aligns with societal expectations. I've seen countless people in jobs they despise because it seemed like a good idea at the time. How many conversations have I had with people saying, I got the degree, landed the job, climbed the ladder, but I wake up every day feeling like my life is slipping away. I recall a brilliant, dedicated doctor, truly remarkable man, who wanted to quit. The market was tough, the pay wasn't enough, the hours were brutal. Why did you become a doctor? I asked. Because I love helping people, he replied. Then why quit what you love? I pressed. His problem, and the problem of millions, is conflating purpose with paycheck. They believe a financially secure life is a prerequisite for pursuing their passions. It's not. Money is a natural byproduct of passion, dedication, and perseverance. I've lived this. There was a time I earned a fortune, but felt utterly empty. What good is wealth if you end the day feeling void? It wasn't until I followed my true calling, working in personal development, helping others transform their lives, that real wealth, and better yet, passive income, followed. Look at your life. How many times did you start something solely for the money, only to lose motivation? How many projects did you abandon because your heart wasn't in it? That's the fatal flaw. You can't sustain the effort needed for success without genuine inspiration. And get this, Gallup research shows over 80% of people are unhappy at work. 80%? That's a staggering majority just surviving on autopilot, postponing happiness indefinitely. If you genuinely want to find your purpose, stop chasing quick answers. Start asking the right question every day. What do I truly love to do? Get a notebook, a journal. Anything, and write it down every day. Everything, no matter how small or silly it seems. You'll start seeing patterns, a common thread, connections. That's how I did it. No magic, just dedication, patience, and focus. If you're feeling that unease, that restlessness, that's a good sign. You're waking up, taking the first step, acknowledging that your current path isn't sustainable. And forget the too early, too late excuse. There's no expiration date on finding your purpose. I discovered mine as a grown adult, after many years of exploration. The only prerequisite is to begin today, right now. Now, honestly assess your life. Is your job your sole source of income? If yes, You're trapped in a paradigm that crushes your financial potential and your freedom to live with purpose. Let's face a harsh reality that many shy away from. Slaving away, trading your precious hours for a fixed salary, is the slowest, most painful way to make money. I remember the day I finally grasped this. I was studying Napoleon Hill, rereading his words, "If you believe that hard work and honesty alone will bring riches, abandon that idea now." It struck me like a thunderbolt. For years, I thought the secret was working harder, longer, pushing myself to the brink. What did I get? Exhaustion, stress, and a bank account that didn't reflect my efforts. The shift came when I understood the laws of compensation. It changed everything. I realized that money wasn't directly tied to hours worked, but to the value delivered and the number of lives impacted. While confined to a 9-to-5 job, your earning potential is severely limited. But when you learn to generate multiple income streams, everything changes. I started creating income streams that worked while I slept. Literally. I go to bed, and while I rested, the money kept rolling in. Why? Because I built systems, provided services, and created products that continued delivering value even in my absence. This didn't happen overnight, but it started the moment I stopped thinking like an employee and began thinking like a value creator. Here comes the usual objection, but I don't know where to start. I don't have the capital, I don't have the free time. My answer? No one starts with everything in place. You begin with an idea, a small action, decision to build something beyond a paycheck. Early on, I worked with what I had. I studied while others watched TV, jotted down ideas in line at the grocery store, brainstormed solutions while others complained. Need inspiration? Jeff Bezos started Amazon selling books out of his garage. No infrastructure, no team, no excess capital, just a clear vision, creating value at scale. The rest is history. Now, back to you. How many hours a day do you dedicate to brainstorming ways to generate value? How often do you ask yourself, how can I create an income stream independent of my physical presence? Few people ask these questions, which is why few people escape the rat race. Science backs this up. A Princeton University study showed that while increased income does boost happiness and well-being to a point, the greatest jump in satisfaction comes from having more control over your time, freeing yourself from a mere survival cycle. Financial freedom and purpose go hand in hand. When you're no longer living paycheck to paycheck, you free up mental and emotional energy to connect with what truly matters. And if you think you need significant capital, let me tell you, what you really need is creativity and initiative. Some people create online courses, others sell digital services, others invest in small side hustles. It doesn't matter where you start, the crucial thing is to start. Before reaching my current level of success, I did exactly that. I sold services, created products, gave talks, generated content, and diversified. Until one day, I earned more while sleeping than I did working waking hours. So, the key takeaway, your life's purpose can be separate from your primary income source, but when you learn to create multiple streams of income, you create the mental space for greater freedom and fulfillment. I challenge you, for the next 30 days, write down at least one idea every day for creating an income source without relying on your direct effort. One idea per day. It doesn't have to be brilliant, just write it down. Because one good enough idea can change your entire life. A major turning point for me was understanding that building purpose isn't accidental, it's a process. Years ago, amidst the chaos, I developed a simple yet powerful daily ritual, which I now teach thousands. Every morning, before my phone, before the door, even before coffee, I'd sit in my favorite armchair with a small notepad and pen. And I'd ask the most crucial question, what do I truly love to do? At first, nothing. My mind would freeze. The page stayed blank. But I persisted, day after day, without pressure, without expectation, simply allowing myself to listen to my inner voice. Then, gradually, answers emerged. Small ideas, memories of moments of genuine happiness, activities that made me lose track of time. Simple things, but deeply meaningful. This daily writing practice brought unparalleled clarity. I started noticing patterns, realizing everything that made me happy involved teaching, helping others grow, sharing knowledge, inspiring. My purpose started taking shape, not like a sudden flash of insight, but like a mosaic, each piece revealed through daily reflection. One Tuesday morning stands out. I'd just written, helping people unlock their potential. An overwhelming emotion washed over me. I had to stop. I sat there, staring at those words, tears welling up. For the first time, I put into words what my heart had been screaming for years. Everything changed after that day. My work, my communication, my enthusiasm, everything shifted. I finally had a clear direction. And not coincidentally, opportunities started flowing in, speaking engagements, partnerships, people eager to learn from me. The universe responds when we broadcast clarity. If you think this is just motivational fluff, let me share a study that validates my experience. A Stanford University study followed hundreds of people for years, concluding that those who regularly reflect on their passions and write down what they love to do are up to 5 times more likely to achieve high levels of professional and personal satisfaction. I know what you're thinking, but I don't have time for this. My life is hectic, chaotic, I barely breathe. I get it. But if you can't spare 5 minutes a day to reflect on your life, you're merely existing, not living. I learned this habit from one of my greatest mentors, Earl Nightingale. In his Chicago office in the 1960s, I saw something unforgettable, a book stand with a single page always open. Why? Because he'd studied that page for days, until it was ingrained in his mind. He told me, I want to learn to think this way, and that requires repetition, focus. That lesson stayed with me, and to this day, I keep a book stand on my desk, studying one page daily. That discipline of repetition, reflection, and recording shaped my thinking and brought me to where I am. If you're truly committed to finding your purpose, start tomorrow. Get a notebook, find your most comfortable chair, sit down, and ask yourself, what do I love to do? And write it down. Even if it's just a word, a short phrase. Do this every day, without fail. Because I guarantee you, amidst those notes, you'll find the answer you've been searching for. Living with purpose doesn't mean a life without challenges. It doesn't mean smooth sailing or effortless success. In fact, it's the opposite. You'll face doubt, fear, exhaustion, but what will keep you going? Clarity on why you get out of bed each morning. Your purpose is your reason for rising. It gives meaning to your day, and once you find it, your life takes on a different rhythm. There was a period, one I haven't often shared, where I had to choose between significant wealth and following my heart. I was in a lucrative business, but every night I went to bed feeling empty, like I was wasting time, despite earning more than I ever imagined. So I walked away, accepting a much lower paying position just for the chance to work alongside Earl Nightingale. I was so certain of this path that I'd considered paying to work with him if needed. For 5 years, I sat near his desk, observing, learning, absorbing. And I discovered that purpose is what makes you wake up excited, even when the money isn't flowing as you'd hoped. Purpose keeps you going when everything seems to be pulling you back. I know what you're likely thinking, but how will I support my family? How will I pay the bills? How will I provide for basic needs if I abandon everything to pursue my purpose? Believe me, I've asked myself those questions countless times. But I've learned that when you're aligned with your passion, you find ways to make money, not through force, but as a natural consequence of the value you deliver. A Napoleon Hill quote remains etched in my memory: riches do not come merely as a result of physical effort, they are always the effect of a mind in action, aligned with a definite purpose. I saw this firsthand. In that low-paying office, fueled by an intense desire to learn, I planted seeds that yielded a harvest beyond my wildest dreams. Look at history's greats, they all had a breaking point, a moment of choosing between the easy path and the purposeful path. Steve Jobs was fired from his own company and used that time to create one of the most innovative periods of his life. J.K. Rowling wrote Harry Potter in a cafe, unemployed, raising a young daughter. They faced discomfort and doubt, yet they persevered. And science confirms this. A Harvard University study followed people for over 70 years and concluded that those with a clear purpose, defined reason for living, had significantly higher levels of happiness, mental health, and even longevity. Let me ask you directly, do you know exactly why you get out of bed each morning? If not, perhaps it's time to stop coasting and start writing a new chapter. I challenge you, for the next 15 days, as soon as you wake up, before doing anything else, write down the answer to a simple question: why am I getting up today? No need for a long essay, a single sentence will do. Do this every day, and I guarantee you'll start seeing patterns you never noticed before. And for a little extra encouragement, they say that those who accept this challenge often experience pleasant surprises in the days that follow. Whether coincidence or the universe responding, I can tell you it's worked for me. Your purpose is already within you. It's not something external. This isn't a journey handed to you on a silver platter. It's been waiting, patiently watching you sidestep the clues, ignoring the whispers of your soul for years. Everything I've shared, the stories, examples, questions, has pointed to one thing: you have a far bigger purpose than you realize. And the best part? This is just the beginning. What's next? The video you're seeing right now will help you climb another rung on the ladder of self-discovery and growth, making you at least 1% better than you were before you hit play. Thanks for joining me. I've truly valued sharing this with you. See you in the next one.